Roybal, look at me, buddy.
Yeah, he's having a psychotic episode.
Months into his stay inside the Adams County Jail,
He's gonna get violent the second we touch him.
something appears very wrong with Arthur Roybal. It's tough to watch, so we'll freeze a few moments. Deputies get him out of his cell, handcuff him, take him down some stairs, and then do something their own policy says don't do.
Face down.
Policy 513.3 subsection B, restrained inmates shall not be placed face down. 5.5 minutes into this, a doctor we asked to review this video notices
One of the officers said, look, he's turning purple. Why does someone turn purple?
this is Dr. Bill Smock.
It means you're becoming cyanotic. It means that your oxygen levels are decreasing.
Absolutely.
Dr. Smock offered similar testimony during the trial of the officer accused of murdering George Floyd. He told us the 16 minutes of face-down restraint in Adams County represent a big mistake.
That, in combination with his arms behind his back, you restricted his ability to breathe.
Once they finally arrive at the medical bay, and just as paramedics arrive, Roybal stops breathing. The Adams County Coroner's Office now calls this a homicide, with one critical caveat. Yes, prolonged restraint in a prone position contributed to Roybal's death, but the autopsy says so did meth, a large amount of it, which leads to another question, one his brother asked us when we interviewed him a few months ago.
He's been there for a year. Why is there drugs in the facility?
We don't know, and might not know for some time. The Adams County Sheriff's Office hasn't even started an internal investigation. Once it does start, it will determine if any policy violations occurred, which is odd, considering it appears they at least violated one.
It's been clear for decades that EMS professionals should never restrain an individual prone on the stretcher because of the risk of death.
Eric Yeagers also reviewed the body camera recording for us. He trains EMS crews. He calls this a classic case of what not to do.
The decision to restrain him prone on the stretcher likely was a precipitating factor in his death.
To be clear, the coroner's office now officially agrees. The case now moves to local prosecutors, who will decide if a crime occurred. Chris Vanderveen, 9 News.
Just because this was a homicide, it doesn't mean a crime occurred. The district attorney's office says they get to decide that, and they're still investigating. The sheriff's office says it will only begin its own review once the DA is done, and that means deputies involved remain free to continue to work inside the jail.